Mr. Chris has said a lot of things on the podcast, but he really meant this.
There are people out there who would 100% nominate every single one of these tennis cards. And there are people out there, and I don't know if I were to look at that in a review, I don't know if I would say no. Somewhere in the world right now, a nomination is being submitted, an edit is being crafted, a review is being decided, and the map is being changed. Hello, agents, trainers, pilots, and our beloved explorers and wayfinders. Welcome to episode 228 of the Wayspotters podcast, a podcast dedicated to helping you become a better wayfinder. Wayspotters is brought to you by the good people at the Pokemon Professor Network and our good friends at Pickaxe. Today is Friday, May 29th, and with me, as always, is Jamal. How's it going, my friend?
Hello, I'm doing well, man. Can't believe it's almost June. It's craziness, but yeah, doing good, doing real good.
It is Game 5 of the Eastern Conference Final tonight. I've got my jersey on, probably for the last time this year.
You never know. You never know.
Yeah.
I mean, Raleigh's a tough place to play. You know, I don't take any I can't take a victory lap because I don't claim the Hurricanes.
Yeah.
They're Raleigh's team. I mean, they're the Carolina Hurricanes, but I don't follow them all year. I'm not invested in them. So, I mean, yeah, it'll be cool for the state if they get to the finals and play for the cup. But I can't be that's my team because I don't claim them. So I can't helicopter in and then all of a sudden claim the championship. You know, I know people that do. There's people in Charlotte that are going to do that, but I'm not that guy.
Yeah, it's funny because I think Carolina and Montreal are probably the loudest two arenas in the league, and they're playing each other. There's going to be a lot of hearing issues coming out of this series, but I mean, game 2 and 3 were close. Montreal had a chance to win both of them, and then I think the mental strain on this season, being they're the youngest team in the NHL that made the playoffs.
Right.
It's not even close, right?
Right.
So
Bright
I think
future ahead.
it's exactly, yeah. So we'll see how tonight goes. Game starts in about 21 minutes. I'm going to have the score over here. My kids will probably be watching it upstairs.
Right.
But yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I'm going to focus on lacrosse if they get eliminated. Jackson.
There you go.
He played the last game that we played. They lost 7-1. He had 53 saves. He faced 60 shots in a single game and stopped 53 of them. I had parents from the other team literally waited to give him props after the game. That whole section, because there was a couple of our parents who were sitting near them, that whole section was just who the heck is this little goalie? And so
that's a shot a minute or something, right?
Yeah. Their quarters their periods are 15 minutes long. So they played 45 minutes. He faced 60 shots.
Jeez. He was getting peppered.
He was so good.
He was getting peppered.
He was so good.
Awesome.
They didn't score until midway through the second period.
Wow.
Yeah.
Literally standing on his head.
Yeah. So we're very proud of him. We got a tournament this weekend. Yeah, it'll be fun. All right, enough sports talk. I don't have any news, so we can just kind of skip that. I do want to give a huge shout out to Agent X for filling in for me last week. He did a fantastic job. It was a really good show.
He did.
Kudos to you and to him and to all of our guests. I really appreciate the space I was given there. I had a bit of a last-minute family emergency that I had to deal with. It's not my immediate family. We're all good. So I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
Yep.
So let's move on. Let's go into comments and DMs. So normally I don't bring up stuff that's said in our Discord a lot. We talk about stuff that goes on in our Discord. But this message specifically, I wanted to read it. You tagged me in this, and I wanted to read it because it calls out something that, shockingly, I forgot about. Me forget about something? No. It's from the Shipster. So the Shipster said, I maxed out my 40 reports today for removal requests. I was listening to an old show from January. Thank you, first of all, for listening to shows in January. Love it. You and Chris were talking about goals for the year, and Chris mentioned sharing his spreadsheet for tracking. Did that ever happen? And if so, where might I find the link to that spreadsheet? P.S. Reviewing can be excruciating. I'm blown away by the coal-worthiness of many of the submissions. There are so many comments that I'd like to add to the review, but I refrain. Yeah, 100% to all that.
Yep.
You know what's funny is I remember talking about this spreadsheet in January, and I did it, and it's done, and it's been sitting in my Google folder. It's been sitting in the Wayspotters Google folder, untouched, for almost 5 months.
Right. Yep.
So, here's what I'm going to do. As a bonus for our Patreon subscribers, I'm going to put this link in our Discord, and if anybody wants me to, I will create a tab for them so they can track their stats in it along with ours in it. I'm going to send it to you. I've been updating mine in it. That's the only thing that's happened in this spreadsheet. I just completely, because I basically copied my own personal one and made the one for us.
Yeah. I'll update it also. Yeah, just put the link in there, and I'll update it. Also, before we bury that lead, Chris, we have to give a shout out to the Shipster. The Shipster is a new patron.
Yes.
And they heard about the show after our show was talked about on the Incense podcast. So shout out to the Incense podcast for talking about new waste spots and mentioning the Wayspotters podcast. So shout out to the Shipster. We sent them a message, and we appreciate you being a patron and listening to the show. And you're going back. If you're in January, you're 5 months back. So the Shipster went back to the beginning of season 1. So I put in the Discord yesterday. I have no idea what I said in January. So God bless everybody.
I saw that. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I barely remember what I said last week, let alone
right. Exactly.
let alone January. So I will share this by the end of the weekend in the Discord. I just need to clean up one thing. I'll probably do it tonight, and then I'll end up sharing it probably tonight for anybody who's interested. If you want to join our Patreon exclusive Discord, you can join. Go to patreon.com/Pokemon Professor to see the tiers. The lowest tier is $1 US a month, and that gets you into the Discord. So it's pretty cheap. So if you want to join in, that's how you do that. And a couple from YouTube. Lemmy Rio says, fun fact that Jamal may know, in Washington, our standard bike signs have a Sasquatch on them, as do the hiking trails. I am sure there are some with humans somewhere, but near me, they are all Sasquatch doing its outdoor fitness. That's fantastic.
That's because Bigfoot lives there.
Yes,
everybody knows that.
He does. He does.
Bigfoot lives in the Pacific Northwest. Yeah,
he does.
Everybody. It's like you wonder, like DB Cooper. All these things happen in the Pacific Northwest because it's just it is what it is. Aliens, Bigfoot, DB Cooper, volcanoes, earthquakes. It's the Pacific Northwest. So
one of those states up there just needs to change their state motto to "It's weird here."
Yeah. Well, Portland's official. Hold on. This is like great podcasting. Just a second.
If you're not watching on YouTube, Jamal has walked away from his mic. He's going somewhere. I don't know where he's going. So I'm just going to sit here and chat and say words until he comes back with whatever it is that he's trying to find. And hopefully he finds it quick. And he's back. That's fantastic.
This is the official motto of Portland, Oregon. For those of you watching on YouTube, it's keep Portland weird. So I have this on my fridge. So every time I get water out of my fridge, I see that. So it's funny you say one of the states should change it. One of the cities already did. Keep Portland weird. So
that's amazing.
And the thing is, if you go to Portland, everybody's got a cousin or an uncle who has a friend who has a cousin who's seen Bigfoot.
Yes. Yep.
So everybody does.
This is accurate. It's like anybody in New Mexico has seen an alien.
Yes, exactly.
Right?
That's right.
All right. And last comment we got, Jojen Reed 64, and I read this comment and I was just like, I knew this. I know this. We pronounced so it's Gloucester, not Gloucester. We were saying Gloucester, and like I knew, like my brain was like, that's wrong. Something about that is wrong. So apologies to the residents of Gloucester. We goofed that one up.
We did.
We did.
Well, we'll goof from time to time.
I don't think that we can have an episode of Wayspotters without us goofing something up.
Right.
It's just
and sometimes on purpose.
Yeah, sometimes on purpose, yeah. All right, let's jump into topic number 1.
The news is over. The drama's begun. Everybody buckle up. It's topic number 1.
Topic number 1 this week is called, Is This the Greatest 12 Months in the History of Wayfarer? And I think, at the very least, 2026 is going to go down as one of the most transformative years that Wayfarer has ever had.
Yes.
So today, if you don't know this, today is the actual 1-year anniversary of the deal between Niantic Spatial, what is now Niantic Spatial, and Scope-a-versary closing. Like, the deal finally closed 1 year ago today. It was announced forever ago. And it was announced like a long time before it actually closed. But what happens with these deals is they announce it, and then the government has to go, all right, okay, we're going to look at literally every single character in this contract and then try and investigate and figure out if everything is above board and whether or not this is going to create a monopoly and all this other stuff. And the FCC has to get involved, and lawyers and negotiations, and like I swear they probably have like an employee draft. Like, there's probably people sitting in a room with like a whole list of employees, and be like, all right, we're gonna take that. You can have that one person. You can have this person. Hey, we'll trade that person for that person and that person, and then that water cooler, and then we want to have that printer, and it's like,
for sure. I'm positive.
Right? So it finally closed 1 year ago today. So I wanted to take some time and go through the timeline of all of the things that have happened since then. Because they put out a video with a bunch of stuff saying, hey, it's happened a year. And there's a bunch of Niantic employees who are just like, hey, or Niantic Scopely employees who are just like, hey, this is the year it's been. It's people who work for Niantic Scopely are apparently really happy with everything that's gone down, right? And we had many conversations about how we thought this might go, and how Niantic Scopely was just probably going to axe a bunch of people because it was none of that happened. Like, and it might still, but like, it's been a year, and
Niantic Labs axed a bunch of people, but Niantic Scopely didn't. Right? So we do need to point that out. The people on the Ingress side and the Peridot side, they immediately axed a bunch of people. Yeah. Anyhow, not to derail you.
You're not wrong, and I appreciate the correction there. But like, Scopely hasn't, and I'm frankly a little bit shocked. But if you really think about it, I think what happened was Scopely was just like, yoink, and then they dropped the Niantic, module into their company, and we're just like, all right, there you go. You work for us now, but we're not going to change a damn thing.
Right. And it seems like they might have given them a little more resources.
Yeah. I honestly think that they were just like, we're just going to add like an extra zero to your budget and leave you alone.
Yeah.
Because you were making money before.
Right.
And now you're making that money now. And I think they had probably a hand in some of the monetization that's happened in the last year. Like, it does seem to have gone up a little bit, but I think a lot of people's fears, and we did a little bit of fear mongering with the you might be able to buy a Pokestop stuff that we were talking about, right? Like, let's call a spade. None of that has happened. And I was saying right from the beginning, people were just like, we're going to see ads and you're going to have, clickable banners. And I'm like, that's not going to happen. They're not going to fundamentally change a wildly profitable product.
Right.
Just because they have a reputation for monetizing stuff. Like, if you look at the games that they have in their portfolio, there's not a whole lot of like intrusive ads in the games, unless those games had those ads to begin with. Right. And Pogo did.
Like Monopoly.
Monopoly.
Monopoly had like breaks built into the game where there was a natural stopping point and they'd feed you an ad.
Yeah. Right. But like, Pogo doesn't have that, and they still don't, and they probably never will. Right. So.
Right.
Let's talk about Wayfarer. June 2025. There's a couple of here that I think we'll stop and kind of have a bit of a discussion about, but most of this stuff is pretty generic stuff. They dropped the appeals from 20 to 15 days, so now you can get appeals every 15 days, which is great. I've had to use my appeals on on my cooldowns the last week because I keep getting stuff rejected unnecessarily. I'm so mad at myself. A little bit of a tangent here. I had something rejected. It went into Niantic review. Niantic rejected it.
Yep.
It was a trophy case. It had like stuff in it from the 50s and the 60s. Like the ringette in Oshawa has been around forever. They had stuff. So I'm like, they rejected it because it wasn't culturally. I'm like, I'm going to appeal it. So I appeal it.
Right.
And I wasn't paying attention because I was at my son's lacrosse practice. And I typed in, this trophy case has, and then somebody said something to me and I was talking to them and I accidentally hit submit. No. So that appeal got rejected.
Oh, no.
But the appeal got rejected because they couldn't prove. They said I didn't prove it was where it was, even though I took the supporting photo with the geotagged thing in it. Like I used the GP. I'm like, what? So I'm just going to try again.
It's wild.
Whatever.
Yeah, try again. Right.
But yeah, the appeals came down. I think it's a good thing. I think that there's decisions sometimes from the community that are and having appeals every 15 days is a good number. So you get 4 a month. If you're doing them on the cooldown, you get 4 a month. So
right. I would you pay 99 cents for an extra appeal?
No, because I get stuff rejected so infrequently.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm mostly okay just waiting it out.
Yeah,
like it's not that big a deal to me. I think if you're at the point where you're willing to pay $1 for an appeal because you get stuff rejected so often, something's happening in your area or you're terrible.
Yeah. Well, exactly.
Right. So.
Yep.
Wayfarer July 2025. Wayfarer eligibility dropped from 37 to 35. I think that had more to do with the level rebalance than anything. They were just kind of moving it to a 37's a weird number. 35 seems more of
a weird number.
More of a target number. You know what I mean?
Right.
So.
I think at least in North America, we like numbers that end in 0s and 5s. You know, because we've got 5 on this hand and 5 on this hand. So I don't know if that has anything to do with it.
It's simple. It's easy.
Yeah, it is.
Easy math. August 2025, Niantic Scope-a started upgrading power spots in India to stops in gyms. We did a whole show on this.
We did.
It, on its face, seemed like a really, really good idea. But there was areas in India that were just like, no, we have nothing but Pokestops. Now we have no power stops. Right. Great, thanks. Right?
Yep. They're like, there's a big event coming up for GMAX or DMAX, and now we can't do it. You know, bring some of these back.
That is one of those. The roads to hell is paved with good intentions. I think they had great intentions, but it didn't work out so well. But kudos to them. They came in after and they're like, all right, understand, we're going to convert some other stuff to power stops for you, and the noise stopped, so either people do just like, all right, it is what it is, or they fixed it. So I don't know. I don't live there. August 2025. Nope, September 2025. Wayfarer contribution emails were announced. That was fun for some people for the rest of 2025. Lots of people.
That was, I know, like you said, that was fun for some people, not yourself.
Nope.
Because you didn't get to participate until early 2026.
Yep. I think it was March. February or March.
Oh, man. Damn near Q2.
Yeah. But like there was so many issues. There were so many people who didn't get it. Like a lot. And I honestly think it had something to do with people unsubscribing from Pogo's promotional emails, messing with their ability to send promotional emails. You know,
I agree.
Like there's laws in a lot of countries that are just like, if I tell you I don't want this and you send it to me anyway, you in
That's
big
a lawsuit.
doo-doo. It's a lawsuit.
That's right.
Right? Like the Canadian government, like it's the law. If you are sending emails to people in Canada, you have to have that unsubscribe link in the email. If you don't, that's against the law. Like that's not even lawsuit, that's criminal prosecution, right? So
right. And see, so fun fact, my Gmail, it's out there, my first and my last name at Gmail. I was one of the first 150, 200,000 people to get a Gmail. I knew somebody that worked at Google when they launched Gmail. And I remember there was those codes going around. Hey, you want a code for this?
Mm-hmm.
And I had a Hotmail and a Yahoo at the time. And he was like, "Do you want?" I was like, "I don't want this." I was like, "What's this Gmail thing?" I'm like, "Fine." So I did it. But that's how I was able to get my first and my last name. So I had a couple extra codes. So I created a couple extra email addresses, and those are the ones I used to sign up for stuff. And they just go to that email, and I never check it because anything that goes there is spam. Like, no legitimate person or entity has that email address. It's like when you go to the mall and you got to put your email address down.
Right.
I use that one. And so my box, for the most part, is clean, and I just use the spam email for that.
Right. Yeah, no, that's fair. I got a couple of different email addresses that I use for different things. And like I checked all of them. Like I checked the one that's the one on my Facebook is like an old email that I got when my parents first got internet, like years ago. Like I don't think that
like an AOL or something.
It was something like AOL, but it wasn't. It was like a Bell, but it wasn't Bell. Oh. Like whatever's after the @ you can't get that anymore because that portion of Bell doesn't exist anymore. But they grandfathered the emails in, so that's the one that was attached to my Facebook, and I had logged in on my Facebook to my Pogo account, so I was checking that email, and that one took me 4 months to get back into, because Bell's like, we don't even recognize this email. I'm like, well, I know it works because I just sent something to it and it didn't get kicked back, so I know it still exists. And like I had to go in through this whole rigmarole of proving who I was, and then they're just like, oh well, it's probably tied to your Bell account. I'm like, cool, that's my parents. They're like, oh, well, we need the account number. So I'm like, okay, I gotta call my mom, get her to dig out the account number. My mom's just like, I have no idea what you're talking about. I'm like, I'll figure it out, because my mom's got enough stuff going on around. Like I didn't want to have to bother her. So, and then like I finally get into it, it's not there, and I'm like, oh, I thought for sure it was there.
Yep.
But
a couple people have asked me why I don't use Blame Jamal as my Twitter handle. Fun fact. Blame Jamal actually owned that Twitter handle, but I can't get into it because I used an old email address that I can't get into, so I can't log into it. So I have to use my Jamal Harvey, but I want to use my Blame Jamal, but I think it's an AOL account that I had like years ago that like when Twitter first came out, again, nobody knew what Twitter was, and it was like, I'll just, it was like, well, you remember, I grew up in Portland. And a lot of techie things, originated in the Bay Area, and it kind of filtered up to Portland and Seattle. So not to say like, oh, I was on the cutting edge, but a lot of like, because, Intel is right in Hillsboro, which is like 30 minutes west of Portland. So a lot of techie things we heard about right when they happened. So, I jumped on Twitter like right when it first was like made public. Same thing with Facebook, because I had a Friendster before that. Do you remember Friendster?
I do remember Friendster.
I had a Friendster and a MySpace, and then I had a buddy that went to Portland State, and he had a Facebook, and it was only for college kids. And then when it became not just for college kids, I got one. So anyhow,
I remember that. And now, the running joke is only old people are on Facebook, right? So,
right, I know. Yeah, exactly. Right. And we were young whippersnappers when it first came out.
Exactly. My wife were driving around. I can't even remember what it was, but like I'm not even going to be able to finish the story. But like we were laughing in the car with the kids because they were talking about something, and I was like, "Back in my day," and my wife's like, "No."
Yeah,
I'm like, but I was gonna say something legitimate. Like she's like, "No, you sound like an old grandpa." And I'm like, "All right, fine. I'm gonna stop." Where are we? October of 2025. They announced the roadmap. They've actually been pretty good at keeping to it this year. It's got some exciting stuff on there, and like I remember when that roadmap came out, we were pumped because there was a lot of good stuff on there, and it was like it felt more detailed than their other roadmaps. Like it felt like it had more meat to it. And I don't know if that was because Scopely has taken over and they've gotten more, like you said, they've gotten more resources and they've gotten more leeway to kind of take away and do what they want to do. And I think a lot of the teams, like especially the Wayfarer team, probably got a lot more rope because Niantic Spatial was like, no, you have a very specific mission, and this is your very specific mission. And I think now with Scopely, they've kind of widened that scope of Wayfarer, and they've eased off on a lot of things. And I think that's really, really helped the Wayfarer team kind of get the things done that they wanted to get done, because they've done a lot since then.
They have done a lot. Well, dude, do you remember the day the roadmap came out? We were supposed to record the day before the roadmap came out, and I don't remember what happened. One of us had something going on. I don't remember what it was. And then we didn't record to the next day. And like at 4:00, they dropped the roadmap. And then like we recorded at 7:30. And we were like, man, good thing we didn't record yesterday. So we were able to like hit it while it was hot. I remember like reading it. Like we were like preparing the show as we were like putting it together, as we were reading the roadmap.
Yeah. Like, oh, notes for last week. See you later.
Yeah, exactly. That's happened a couple times.
It's happened a couple of times. And like, it's kudos. And I really honestly don't know if they've done this on purpose, but like we've mentioned to them a couple of times what day of the week we record. And we jokingly have complained to them a couple of times that they release news after we record, and they should probably just do it before we record. And then all of a sudden, just their news announcements started to shift to before we record. And like, I don't know if that is on purpose.
It's like,
but my ego says that it is. But even if it isn't, we thank you so much for doing that. And just as a reminder, we record on Wednesdays usually. Today is a Friday because I had stuff going on this week. But yeah, so we definitely appreciate that for sure. Also in October 2025, the AMA announced the responses came out. AMAs are a tough thing with the Wayfarer team, especially considering the forum exists. Right? Like before it was this way, you didn't have a way to ask them questions. Now, if you have a question, you could just go on the forum and ask the question and someone will answer it for you, or the Wayfarer team will answer it for you, or right? So
can I tell you why I like the AMAs though?
Yeah.
One reason why I liked them. So we had this discussion in our Discord the other day. I was being kind of a troublemaker, kind of stirring the pot a little bit in the Discord the other day. If you ask a question on the forum or you put something and appeal it and it gets overturned on appeal, everybody is very clear that that's not case law. You know, I know people have accused us of being very USA focused or North American focused. I'm in North America. You're in North America. If you do not live in North America and you want to come on the show, dude, we'll let you come on next week. Anyhow. And specifically in the U.S., if something happens and it gets appealed to a court and the court says the appeal's overturned, that is now case law for that entire jurisdiction, whether it's the state, the region, the country, whatever it is. So now you know what the new law is. On the forum, that's not the case. That's why I kind of like the AMAs. The AMAs was kind of like the Supreme Court was saying, here's the new rules and everybody has to follow it. What happens on the forum is one of the Niantic employees will make a ruling and say this is overturned, but that doesn't mean that everything else follows this rule. That's for this specific instant. I like the AMAs because it gave you a new baseline that you could go from. Not that people really followed it, or not that everybody knew that was the new rule, but you have Cindy Pooh that'll tell you, which is great. She'll dig it up and tell you. But that's why I kind of like the AMAs, is because you could ask a question. And I remember Heracross Boss, loved the guy, asked a question years ago about footbridges. And Niantic Casey at the time came out and made a ruling. And then all of a sudden, everybody across the world started putting in footbridges because of what Niantic Casey said in the ruling. So that's why I liked the AMAs, as opposed to now, like you said, we can just ask them any old question, they'll answer it. But that doesn't mean anything for the next time you appeal that exact same thing. It could be different.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. There's 14 questions that they answered during that AMA. I was just kind of scrolling through while you were talking, and like a lot of these answers are pretty. They're like 3 paragraphs, 1 paragraph, like substantive answers right here. And that was before, and we'll get to this in a second. Some other stuff happened, but there's a lot of questions that were asked in that AMA that were just like, hey, we're going to address this in this thing that we're making. and it's coming out soon. It's coming.
Right.
Well, yep, we got you.
Yep.
We heard you. This thing
Soon trademarked.
Soon TM. Right. So. November 2025, so November was where I think the boots hit the ground, right? All of this work from May 2025 to November 2025, all of the stuff that they were working on, all of this effort that they were putting in, all these new resources that they were introduced to, that they were gifted, started to pay off because web submissions were released in November 2025. And I think that the web submissions, not only was it 100% game changer, but it was a step into the future, in my opinion, for Wayfarer, because it opens up another avenue for people to contribute to the Wayfarer map. Right?
Yes.
And it's not just like, hey, you want to contribute to the map, you need to be this level in Pogo. You need to be in the Pogo app, and you need to do things through Pogo, right? And everybody knows, who's ever played Pogo, sometimes your connection to the Pogo servers sucks. And it's through no fault of your own. It is very janky at some points, right? Depending on where you are. But the ability to... And I know that you can kind of do it from home, right, on your Wi-Fi if you're close enough, and the web submissions is the same distance, but it just feels easier. Like it feels like it
gives you more
inclusive.
agency.
It gives you more agency, right? So I think web submissions, and even when they said, they were just like, hey, this is like version 1. We're going to have like version 6 coming and version 7 and all this other stuff we want to do. But we wanted, and this is what I love about the Wayfarer team. They do something, they finish it. Like, don't finish it, but they polish it enough to where they can release it. And they're just like, hey, we know we promised this to you, or we know that you're going to love this. So we're going to give you like the beta version. But the beta version is good.
Yeah.
Like, they've polished it enough and they finished it enough that it's serviceable and it works. And sure, sometimes there's a little bit of kind of janky stuff with it, but it's not like when they release new things in Pogo and it like breaks the game. Mm-hmm. Like, it doesn't break Wayfarer. And that's what I love about the Wayfarer team. And they acknowledge, like, straight up, they're just like, we're going to give this to you, but it's not finished. It works, but it's not finished. Because they knew if they released it, people were just like, this is great, but... And then release it. They go, okay, cool, we're going to release it. It's not finished. Do you have any suggestions on how to make it better? We have suggestions and thoughts on how we can make it better. What do you think? And I just, that's what I love about Wayfarer so much. It's just they are so open to everyone's suggestions. And those discussion threads in the forums just blow up with people going... Praise Arceus, this is the greatest thing ever. And then you get through that first kind of day or so of people loving it, and people are just like, hey, I have thoughts. And Niantic Aaron or Tintino or LC or someone's in the forums going, that's a good idea. That's a good idea. Mm-hmm. That's a good idea. We're going to do that. Or we have the same thought. Or, yep, that's coming.
And we should take this time to shout out Tintino, that when they do... offer up a new release, that guy will sit in the forums for hours and just answer questions and just read stuff. And that level of visibility and accountability is not seen on any other Niantic product.
Yep.
You know, so I'll just give that guy a shout out.
You could say that level of dedication and that level of community involvement is very rare in any publicly facing company. Right? Like, it's super rare. And you're right. Like, there's times I'm just like, I feel like messaging him and be like, bro, go home.
Right, exactly.
You have clearly been there. I see the first one that you responded to was 12 hours ago. Like,
exactly.
Go home.
Right.
You've done enough.
And he might be sitting at home with a glass of wine and, you know, who knows. But still, log off, bro. Log off. It's okay.
You would probably reply with, bro, I am at home.
Yeah, I know, right?
It's funny. The one day, I don't remember what thread it was, but I noticed there was like an hour gap in between when he was responding. I'm like, I think he went home. I think he's at home on his laptop.
Yep.
Because he stopped responding. That was him traveling home.
He was driving home or on the train or whatever it was.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. January 2026. So this is back-to-back bangers. They introduced the Wayfarer map in January of 2026, and again, like it's people since the beginning of Wayfarer were just like, if you were to ask every single Wayfinder what they wanted the most, I would say 90% would be a map.
Yep.
Right?
An app or a map. An app that included a map.
Yep. Yeah. Exactly. And when they finally released it in January, it was just like, this is like second Christmas. And they nailed it too. Like, this map is good.
They did. They had to make one edit to fix the zoom, but outside of that, I didn't have a lot of complaints about it.
No, me either. And like, I've got it like even on my phone. Like, it works great, even on mobile. And that is, I think, the one thing that I was really worried about with this map was, how's it going to look on my phone? Because it's great and all that I can plan my stuff from home. And if you're not using the map to plan your stuff, I don't even know what you're doing. I don't need, because it's just like,
it's turned every Wayfinder into an old school Ingress agent. You checked the map in Ingress before you left the house, or you didn't leave the house.
Yep. And like, you can get the plugins for your phone. Absolute game changer, right? And we'll talk about the plugins again at some point. I still need to do the tutorial for setting them up and stuff. So I think I need to hit up Matty G so we can do that together. But yeah, the map is an absolute game changer. Just because like it's got everything on there, like even imports, and like you can click on stuff and it will tell you everything that you need to know. It's got everything on there, and it's just. And like they come out with this and they're like, hey, this is version 1. We're going to have, subsequent versions and improvements. And I'm like, what are you going to improve on this thing? It's fantastic.
That's what I was going to say. Aside from putting the S2 cells on there, which I can get from a third party.
Yeah.
I don't know what you can improve on this other than like it telling you, hey, there's something in this cell to nominate. Like, I don't know what it can do to be improved.
Yep. Exactly. Right. And there's stuff that some of the plugins do that I would like to see the vanilla version do, but like they'll get there. The fact that you've got, if you get something approved, like it syncs onto the map before it'll sync into Pogo, because sometimes the Pogo sync is delayed. And if you can't see it in Pogo, maybe people get nervous. They're like, oh, maybe it was in a cell. Maybe it didn't actually get on the map. And you can go onto the map and look and say, there you go. It's live. Yep. And it doesn't have the little Pokestop logo. So that's coming when Pogo syncs. And it's just like, I love it. It's fantastic, right? I got no notes on this thing. Now that they fixed the zoom level, because it's funny because if you zoom out far enough, it literally says, hey, you're currently viewing a sample of all waste spots in the area, because they can't show you all of them. But like,
I love that. That's so cool.
I love it. I'm just so happy with this, right? So kudos to them for doing that. March 2026, upgrades were changed so you can only add them 24 hours after the submission was made. Again, this is just one of those simple things that is an absolute game changer for everyone, because
saving a life for sure.
Saving lives out there. Because so if you don't know, when you make a nomination, it goes into a what we call like a holding pattern, where the system holds
we probably need to come up with some nickname for it.
Yeah. Like I think it's in quarantine. That's why I like to call it. It goes into quarantine for 24 hours. This not only allows Niantic's internal system, so Emily, to review it in that 24 hours, it also allows you 23 hours to edit the nomination, right? So when you nominate it, a lot of times people will just go on their phone and they're just like, I'm just going to type in gibberish for the description and the title and the
and we've been burned by that a couple times.
I've been burned by that recently because I refuse to learn, apparently, from my past mistakes. It allows you that time, that 24 hours, I think it's actually 23 hours, to go in and edit it before it actually gets released into the queue, right? And part of all of that is, and I'm 100% positive on this, well, I shouldn't say 100%. I bet you that Emily reviews the picture as soon as you nominate it.
Yes.
Right. And just kind of holds that in their brain and just like, all right, I don't know about this. And then once it gets released after that, it'll very quickly go, okay, now I'm going to take the information that I gleaned from your photo, compare it to your title and description, and make a decision.
Right.
Yeah. Or just yes. And then the yes decision is actually just a meh decision and it goes off to the community. Right.
Right.
But if you were to apply an upgrade during that waiting period, sometimes it would mess with how the upgrade worked, and it would actually do the opposite to your nomination, and it would just stall it out. And people were burning upgrades on stuff, and people would essentially burn an upgrade, and then Emily would be like, yeah, no, I'm rejecting this.
Right.
So like,
exactly.
You've completely wasted an upgrade on something.
No need to burn it. Yeah, you didn't burn an upgrade at all.
Right. You're burning an upgrade on something that was going to get rejected from the moment that you submitted it. And that was the big one. People were just like, why are you letting me spend money on something that you're going to just deny anyway, right? That's just,
exactly.
And you're not spending money, but it's like, we call it the currency of Wayfarer. So
yeah, the currency of Wayfarer. That's the only thing that you can technically earn in there. And to someone who's not a power reviewer, an upgrade is a big deal because it might take them a long time to earn an upgrade. So,
yep. So, kudos to them for finally making that change. I think that one was probably something that they could have done a lot sooner, but beggars can't be choosers, and I think it's fantastic that they did it, even when they did it. March 2026, another huge game changer. Web submission draft mode was introduced. This is just, I wish I have notes at the end. Actually, you know what? Let me talk about it now. I love draft mode. I love it. I absolutely love it. It will allow you to mess with the pin a little bit because, sometimes if you're out in the field, you can't exactly get it right and you want to come home, get on your computer, and then you can fine tune your pin placement. It allows you to take 6 or 7 photos when you're out in the field, upload one of them, and then get back. And then I did not do that on purpose either. And then you can kind of go through all of them because I don't know how many times you click on that photo, you take the photo, you click on the photo, you upload the photo, you look at the photo in your submission, and it looks great. Everything looks great, but it crops it a little bit on your phone.
Yes.
And then you submit it, and you get home, and you look, and your finger is like right on the edge, right? Or your thumb is kind of in the bottom corner,
right?
And you're just like, I have to withdraw this because it's going to get rejected.
Yeah. Yep.
And draft mode allows you to say, oh, I don't like that one. I'm just going to keep this in my drafts, and I'm just going to use one of the other 6 photos that I took. I'm going to re-upload that one. Or all of them have my thumb in it. I'm just going to, in 2 days, I'm going to be in that area. I'll swing by, grab a new picture, and then I'll use that one. You don't have to waste a submission on this. The one beef that I have with draft mode, right? I wish that you could do draft mode and say, listen, I am in the Bahamas right now, or I am in Tuscany right now, or I am in the mountains of Utah right now on my vacation. I've nominated these things. You should be able to say, all right, I'm going to lock this draft. I'm going to lock the pin placement right now. So that you go into your draft and you lock the pin placement so you cannot adjust it. You adjust it when you're within the 10 kilometers, and then you lock it. And then that way you can finish your vacation, right? And then go home and finish all of the nominations that you did while you're at home, not on your vacation. Because a lot of people are just like, I want to do all this stuff, but I don't want to do all of the heavy lifting while I'm on vacation. Because I have other things that I want to do. But you can't because they limit it to that 10 kilometers, right? I think you should be able to lock your pin placement in and then edit it wherever you are on the planet. Because really, if you're locking the pin placement while you're there, You've done the
There's
work
no
while
reason.
you're there. There's
Exactly.
no
There's
reason.
no reason for you.
Right?
Yeah, exactly. No, I agree with you 100%.
And I think, and because draft mode doesn't take your submissions, and it's less of a problem now that we have like 175 million submissions. But even there are people out there who were just like, thank you for the extra submit. I'm still going to burn through them all. And that's cool.
Right.
And I love that. Right.
Yep.
I'm not
Yep.
at that point in my life right now. I don't have that enough around me, but I have 40 that I need to do that are on my list that are just in my area. If you go to an area that's very underserved, you could very easily come up with 100 nominations, right? And if you run out,
Yeah. Oh, easy.
throw them in your drafts and then just release
Yeah.
them when you get them when you're back home. I think that would be a good way to kind of have like a version 2 to just, and it would curb the abuse stuff, right? And it would say, okay, if you're locking the pin placement while I am there, what does it matter when I change the title or the description or upload new photos, right? Like the pin is the problem. Just let me lock the pin while I'm there.
Yeah, the pin is the problem. If you lock the pin, then it shouldn't matter because you can't do any hanky-panky if the pin is locked.
Yes.
It's just the description and maybe choosing the picture you want. But you're right. Maybe that's a V2 or a V3 or whatever volume they're on that they go and they take care of that.
Right. And I get it. They're worried about abuse, and like I completely understand that, but hopefully it's something they look at. March 2026, the Wayfarer ambassador applications went out. We recently did a show on which one of the ambassadors that have been chosen. They hinted at some stuff that is going to be different from the last few years because this cohort is a bit smaller than the last one, so we'll have to wait to see how that plays out. April 2026, the Japanese Wayfarer community forum was launched, which that bot that we have in our Discord that posts anything, anytime anybody from the Niantic team posts something in the forums, posts a lot of Japanese language posts that I kind of look at and go, at least it's active. They're active in there. They're doing their thing in there, which is really, really cool. So I'm happy for that. Somebody asked, okay, are you going to do for other languages? I don't think so, because the forum has that translate button. It's not perfect, but it's good enough.
It's good enough. It works. I mean, I can't read what it says. I mean, you can translate it, but it's good enough.
Yep. And like, I think the reason that they did the Japanese one is just because that segment of the Wayfarer population is probably the second largest to the English speaking group, and that there's a significant enough people who speak only Japanese that it makes sense for them to create a second section of the forum just for Japanese speakers, right?
Right. I think that's Japanese is like a huge part of Pogo and a huge part of Wayfarer, so I'm completely fine with that.
Yeah. Also, April 2026, they announced the Wayfarer ambassadors. We already just talked about that. May 2026, the Wayfarer map was updated to improve the zoom levels. We talked about that. It's fantastic. It's like the zoom levels were so restrictive that they had to fix it, and I think they realized very, very quickly that they had to. And like from when the map was announced, where was the map announced? January? Yeah, from January to April. That's pretty good. That's a pretty good turnaround for that to kind of be fixed, right? So
that is a good turnaround.
And May 2026, and this was announced right before last week's show, so we haven't talked about this together, but the Wayfarer rating system was announced, and
Yes.
I was busy. Like, I was swamped. I was doing some stuff. I kind of wasn't in the right mindset, but I saw some of the Discord notifications popped up, and I looked in there, and I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. So I kind of snuck off from what I was doing and logged into my Wayfarer account, and I was like, because I saw people posting screenshots, and I was like, where am I? Like, how close to that person am I? Because, like, I know that there are people out there who do way more nominations than me. Like, I do have like hundreds more nominations than I do, right? But like, I do a lot of edits, and like my score was actually pretty close to a couple of people, and I was surprised. So I was like, I logged in. I'm like, oh no, am I going to be like the second level or like the third, maybe the am I going to be like expert or explorer? No, champion, 100% maxed out. Like
I was kind of hoping I'd be further down and give me something to shoot for. It's not that I was disappointed I was champion, but I was like, I was like when they rebalanced Pogo and I went to level 70, I'm like, ooh, I've got 10 levels to climb. I've got something to do. I was kind of hoping that it would be something along those lines. But, I mean, at some point, as long as we've been doing this, if they made it hard for us, it would be so hard for everybody else who's not us.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
so
fair.
I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yep. And, like, scrolling back to kind of see people's scores, I'm, like, pretty close to some of them. There's a couple of people who are way ahead of me. I was wondering the same thing. Like, I was wondering if they were just going to baseline this and then give people something to work for. Like you said, like when they dropped level 70 or level 80 and they bumped people to level 70, it was like, okay, well, now I have enough experience. Now it's just the tasks, right? And that's kind of just menial BS that you have to get through.
Right.
But I think it's good. Like, I love it. I think it's great that they've kind of tiered this out for people. You and I are both big, I like numbers go up people. So having like a point score, I think is motivating me to get out and do more stuff now because
for sure. Yeah.
I want to get stuff approved. So now I think probably not this weekend because Jackson's got a tournament this weekend. Which reminds me, I actually need to scope out where we're going to be playing this tournament to see if I got any stuff there I could do. So maybe I'll grab a bunch of stuff there. But yeah,
hey,
I think it's great.
Since the levels have come out, I've nominated 10 or so POI.
Nice.
And they've been in kind of like pain in the neck areas that like I know there's stuff over there, but like it's really out of my way.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, it's that kind of part of town where it's like they built a new neighborhood over there and there's a playground and a pool, but it's kind of like I don't really want to go over there. And so Avery and I hopped in the car the other day and I'm like, I'm just going to go do it. And I went over there and nominated like 6 things. So, and then I did 4 other things and I found a couple of things. So I was kind of happy I did it, but it was just kind of like, I'm literally never ever going to play there. Like, but I'm making it better for somebody, but you know, but I'm like with this new thing, it's like, shoot, I got to get out and nominate some stuff.
Mm-hmm. There's a couple within walking distance to me that I'm actually going to walk to tomorrow.
Nice.
Because summer's now, and like I've been a little bit of health issues lately, so I'm like, my doctor's like, you need to be walking more, right? And like my new job, I'm doing 10,000 steps a day at work, whereas before my old job, I was doing like I would maybe break 2.
Right.
So like I'm on my feet a lot, but like I'm gonna get and walk more. Maybe lose a little bit of weight. So I think this weekend the kids and I are gonna walk to a park that's down the street that I can nominate a couple things at.
Nice.
It's funny when I'll tell my wife, I'm like, hey, I think we should check out this park in this area, and she's like, we've never been there. Oh, you want a Pokemon? You want to make Pokestops there, don't you? And I'm like, I just think it will be nice for the
Yeah.
You got me. The one I love about the Wayfarer rating perks is your submission cap is based on your level, right? So it gives people an incentive to kind of get to that next level. And the submissions that you get back every day, your accrual rate is linked to your level. Your text edit cap, your photo edit cap, your location edit cap, it's all tied to your level. And I think that's a really, really good way to incentivize people to get to those levels. And there are some people in our Discord who have not been, who have self-admittedly have not been doing Wayfarer very long, who are already at champion. So it's not a tough level.
It's not overwhelming.
It's not overwhelming, right? And there's a couple people who have posted theirs who admittedly they don't do monkey bread, posted theirs, and they're like, hey, I checked mine, I'm surprised I'm a champion, because they don't do Wayfarer as much as kind of everybody else. But like, it's not hard to get there, it's not overwhelming, but hopefully it incentivizes people to kind of get out there and update their maps and stuff. And that kind of leads us to where we are right now, because it is the end of May. I honestly would give Scope-a's first year from a Wayfarer perspective A plus.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean,
Absolutely.
we do kind of and we will again this year. We'll do like a 2026 in review. And I can't, like, Wayfarer could do nothing for the rest of the year and still get an A from me. Like,
Right. For sure.
we're halfway through the year and we've got a map. We've got a map that's been upgraded. We've got a new Wayfarer system. We've got web submissions. We've got web submissions that have been upgraded. Like,
We've got more nominations.
We've got more nominations. Like, currently have, like, I looked at it the other day when I went to nominate something at my kids' practice because I found something in the arena that we were at.
Yeah, how many do you have right now?
I'm logging into look. I think it was like 120 when I looked. And I was just like, you gotta be kidding me. This is like, we begged. We begged and pleaded when they got rid of Ingress. When they did the split, they were just, please just give us the 40 back. We want 40. I want my 80. And they were like, hold my beer. I have 139 right now.
Oh man.
And I'll get 10 more tomorrow.
Yep, that's wild. I have, yeah. Yeah, we were begging for 80. We were like, we need more. So, and I don't think that it was us, the community, like, saying, and they were like, yeah, I have 110 and I get 10 more tomorrow. So,
Wow.
it's like the days of Ingress plus. So it's awesome.
Yep. And I honestly, kudos to the Wayfarer team, because there are certain things that the community comes together and agrees on. It's very few things. But when that happens, the Wayfarer team is like, all right, fam, we got you.
We got you.
I got
Yep,
you.
Sure
Right?
do. Sure do.
And one of those things was like, we need more nominations. And there was there's people in the forum be like, 80? Psh, I want 120. I want like 200. And people were like, you're never going to get 200. You're never in a million years will you ever get 200. And be like,
And then
what's the cap?
Tintino's like, here you go. Here's 320. All right, fam. Go for it. I was like, whoa. 320. It's like,
I read that.
It's like your kid. Yeah. It's like your kid says, can I have $5? And you hand him a 20. They're like, am I being punked? Where's Ashton Kutcher?
back away slowly. He didn't notice. He meant to hand you a 5.
Exactly.
Like,
right.
I read that because, like I said, I was busy, and I'm like, that's got to be a typo. Like, he meant 32 extra, so like 72.
Right.
That's a weird number, but like 72. I'm happy with 72. And then I went back later, and I'm like, that's not a typo. Like, that's legit. And then I didn't believe it, and I'm like, all right, cool. I'm gonna log into my Pogo in a couple of days, and it's like, you have 60 nominated. I'm like,
What?
is this for real?
Like, really?
So yeah, I mean, kudos to the Wayfarer team for everything that they've done so far this year. I just think they've had a great year so far. I think Scopely has been the benevolent overlord that we all hoped that they would be. I think that a lot of the community's fears were wildly unfounded.
Mm-hmm.
I think that Scopely clearly knew what they were doing. They clearly knew what they were doing when they bought
They had a
Pogo.
plan.
They had a plan, and that plan was to not break the golden goose.
Right.
Right? Like, yeah, they've kind of beefed up the monetization to try and start to earn their money back, but like,
Not
it's
in an intrusive way, though.
no, like it's not at the level where, and I think it's better, right? Like, you used to be able to buy, and like, we'll talk about Pogo for a second, right? And I know a lot of people don't like it when we do this, but I'm just going to take like 30 seconds to talk about this. But like, they changed from the ticket to it used to be like the ticket, you get like a couple of tasks and that was it. Now you get like every event has that
The Go Pass.
You get more. Like, you're spending maybe a little bit more money, but you're getting more. Right?
But you also have a free track that if you don't want to spend money, you get really quality items from the free track.
So I think Niantic or Scopely is really investing in Pogo, and they're really investing in Wayfarer, and they're investing in all of the other games that they've purchased, not as just something that they can get their billions of dollars back, but as something that they can kind of generate interest and generate gameplay and generate new things for everyone. And I think that a lot of the things that they've done, especially to curb the rural problem that Wayfarer has, they're fixing that through Pogo, which is what you and I have been saying that they needed to do for 4 years.
Correct.
And
I know we're running long on topic number 1, but there's one thing that I realized we didn't include on this map. That's a huge thing that people are probably screaming at the radio. We didn't include the street signs and bus stops.
that's true, we didn't. That's true, we didn't.
When
you know
said,
why we
when
didn't?
You said rural.
We didn't include it because I went through the Wayfarer channel, the announcements channel, and just pulled stuff out of that, and that was never talked about. That was kind of like a Pogo thing. But you're right. When did they do that? I'm gonna Google that real quick.
Yeah, so that was when you
stop.
When you said rural, that was like, oh yeah, that's right. They did do something for the rural trainers. A lot of people didn't like that. A lot of people really poo-pooed it. But for the people that it helped, it really helped.
So that was October of 2025. Niantic announced that select areas in France, Italy, and Spain would be getting Pokestops at street corners and bus stops. That was.
Then I think was it.
So yeah,
February
I mean that's
came
we're talking about this. That was one of those things that they're just like, we know we need to fix this problem, and they were smart enough to recognize that it's not a Wayfarer problem, it's a Pogo problem, so they're going to fix it in Pogo. And which is like when they started doing this, and I was just like, they do listen to us.
Yeah.
Right? But it's not just us. There's like a lot of people on the forums who would reply to people and be like, I need more Pokestops in my rural area. And be like, that's not a Wayfarer problem.
Right.
Like every time, there's a lot of people who are just like, who would think it, but like a lot of people don't want to say it. I would go in and say it. And then like 15 people would go in and like it. So it's just like,
yeah. Right.
But the fact that they're doing this and that they've done other things with other locations and they're just creating all these stops in underserved areas outside of Wayfarer because they recognize that those people, they need stops too, and you're not going to get money out of those people if you don't give them what they need to play the game.
Bingo. Remember, I said it at the very beginning of the Scopely acquisition: more gems, more money. It's just you put more gems in underserved areas, and when raids pop up, people will buy raid passes to get their legendary or whatever they want.
Exactly. Right. So no question for me, A+ for this year. We'll see what they come up with for the rest of the year. I think that we need to kind of revisit the roadmap at some point in the next couple of episodes. We'll kind of go through and take a look at the roadmap and figure out what's left, what they need to do, and kind of just ride this wave that Wayfarer is on right now, because I think we're in the golden age of Wayfarer, and I think we talked about it a couple of times. I think
when they talk about the good old days, we're in the good old days right now.
We are in the good old days, right? And we can be that old curmudgeon-y grandpa when we're like, people are like, oh, I got so many nominations. We're like, back in my day, I had 7, and I had to wait a week.
We're gonna talk about that next week.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah,
perfect.
I've actually got next week's show scoped out. We're gonna talk about 7, 14, and the slow recharge. Yes. Yep.
Man, like thinking back, how did any of us survive on 7 nominations?
It took forever to build an area. It took
forever. Like that park in Plattsburgh took me forever.
Yeah.
All right. I had something for topic number 2. It's funny enough, the exact same thing I had for topic number 2 last time I did a show. We're going to skip it because we're already at an hour and 4 minutes. Yeah, honestly, it can be skipped. Well, I promise I'm going to make this topic number 2 next week. So I'll make it topic number 1 on my next show.
Okay.
Because I do want to get to it, but it's not something that's time sensitive. So we are going
one of
to
those
take
evergreen things.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, we're going to take a break, play some dad jokes, and then we will come back on the other side with Waste Spot of the Week and Coal of the Week.
Howdy, it's Alfindial here, professional trivia host and low-tier streamer, and you're listening to the Wayspotters podcast.
Hey guys, welcome to the Wayspotters podcast. I'm JT Oh no, I screwed that up. Clip that one. That's a good one.
Season 5 of Dad Jokes. You guys keep encouraging him. This is why we can't have nice things.
Being a new dad is magical. You learn how to magically fall asleep anywhere. The baby monitor has 2 settings: silence and panic. I told people becoming a new dad would change you, and I was right. You used to get excited to buy cool gadgets. Now you get excited to buy a stroller with all-terrain wheels. Before you were a new dad, you never needed an alarm clock. Now you live by a teeny, screaming rooster. I changed the baby's diaper so fast that Niantic flagged me for suspicious activity. Having a newborn really changes a new dad's priorities. A year before the baby's born, you want a brand new flat screen. Now, if somebody gives you 6 hours of uninterrupted sleep, you'd help them hide a body. Having a newborn is a lot like reviewing waste spots. No sleep, lots of crying, and nobody agrees with your decisions. Anyhow, congrats, Hank.
And we're back. Hope you enjoyed the dad jokes this week.
Well, before you go over that, as we said in the dad jokes, we want to give a shout out to Hank, friend of the show, Hank, who we met twice. Chris, you and I met him at Randall's Island, and then last year in Jersey City, he walked with us. Hank had a brand new baby, so those dad jokes were for you, Hank. Hopefully you enjoyed them.
Congratulations, Hank, on the new baby. I hope you don't sleep much, because you definitely won't now. So, good luck to that. All of the waste spots of the week and the coal of the week this week came from our Patreon exclusive Discord. If you would like to join and have the potential to have your waste spots featured on the show, we will have information on that at the end of the show. And I'm going to take a second and actually load these images because I did not do that previous to now, and I'm just realizing that now.
This is Sarah Amanda, and here's some Wayspotters approved points of interest.
Waste spot of the week number 1 is a couple of submissions that I made, and I wanted to share
these are
these.
Good. Yeah, these are
with
good.
the
People should
group.
enjoy these.
Because I was driving home one day, and I had Pogo open on the seat beside me, and I wasn't playing. I wasn't paying attention to it. I stopped at a red light, and I kind of glanced over and saw that it was open. And then I noticed that the dog park across the street from the intersection didn't have anything in it. So I'm like, that's interesting. So I pulled over, and I did a couple of nominations. First is Mackenzie Off-Leash Dog Park and dash small dog area. So there was a small dog park and a large dog park. Now, I will say that this park the park sign was already a Pokestop, but the 2 dog parks were not. So I stood there and I sat there and I mapped it out. I pulled up on my phone the S2 cells from the new Wayfarer map, and then I realized that each park was in its own cell. And I was like, it's fantastic.
The dream scenario.
It's dream scenario, right? So this is essentially just a little black fence with a white sign on it that says small dog area. In the background, there's a bunch of trees kind of going up on a hill. The sky is basically blue. There's a little bit of a cloud cover, but it was a pretty good shot, a pretty good picture, if I don't say so myself. But I wanted to do something fun with these nominations. So the description for this one is, who let the dogs out? You did. come and let the pooch run free at the small dog park at Mackenzie Park. And I was like, I love
So
it.
good.
I
That
love
is
descriptions like this.
So good.
And and I've discovered that descriptions, being fun and witty with your descriptions, is a lot easier when you're doing the nomination than it is trying to edit it to something witty and fun. Because a lot of people who do these reviews won't reject it for that, but they will absolutely reject an edit if you're trying to do that.
Yes, absolutely, 100%.
So, and the other one, the description is, so this is large dog area. Again, it's like a black fence with the white sign, more trees in the background, clear blue sky. It was a beautiful day when I did this. The description on this one is, woof woof, come let the dogs out. Come let the dogs at the large dog off-leash peach at Mackenzie Park. So I got a little
Chef's
fun
kiss.
with these.
It's fun. I love it. I love it. Some might even say you Jamaled it up a little bit.
I did. You know what's funny is I shared this in our Discord, and that's exactly what I said. And I'm like, I decided to Jamal up these descriptions a little bit. So
Yep. Absolutely.
I love it. All right, let's jump into Waste Spot of the Week number 2.
Here is a beautiful example of a waste spot of the week, which may or may not be a 2-story mural.
Okay. Waste Spot of the Week number 2 comes to us from friend of the show, Darker Solstice. And the Waste Spot nomination is Outdoor Dining Pavilion at Mehanita. How do you say that? Mehanata?
Mehanata? Yeah.
Mehanata? I butcher that. But this is in Des Plaines. And it's it's exactly what you think. So I'll describe it. So it's a kind of postmodern building on your left. It looks like it might be like an old reclaimed warehouse. It's got some wheels on the building, and it's like navy blue with some yellow. And then it's a dining area on the outside, which you might think is just a generic dining area, but it's kind of tied into the building. And on the building, there's a big compass on there. So this kind of looks like it's if I were to say that was in Charlotte, I would say it looks like a brewery. But this is a place that serves traditional Bulgarian food. But to me, it kind of gives off brewery vibes. But it's a great seating pavilion, a prime hangout spot outdoors at a restaurant that serves traditional Bulgarian food. But it's a really cool place that like I would want to hang out at if we were there, sit down, and it's a really good way to get a restaurant in if you're not going to nominate the restaurant. This is a permanent patio with seats out there where you can sit down, have a meal. There's some umbrellas that if there's inclement weather or if it's sunny, you can put it up and you can still kind of hang out and be social. So this is a great shot from Darker Solstice. It really kind of encompasses the area. It's almost like a main photo and a supporting photo into one because you get so much area in there that you can really ascertain what's going on around in the area. You would be able to see this from space to figure out where it is. So it's a really cool descriptive angle that they took. And I think it's very much worthy of Waste Spot of the Week.
Absolutely. And you know how I feel about eating areas and dining areas and restaurants and stuff, right? Anytime you can get them into the game, it's fantastic. So the fact that this still serves traditional Bulgarian food just adds to the eligibility of this waste spot. So
I don't know if I've ever had Bulgarian. I don't even know if I know what Bulgarian food is.
Couldn't tell you. Could not tell you. All right, let's jump into Coal of the Week. I've been working on the Wayfarer all the live long day. I've been working on the Wayfarer just to pass the... Uh-oh. Oh, no. Hey, Jamal. I found some coal. Coal of the Week this week comes to us from Grandpa TP. The title of this is Zion Church Daycare. Located in the Jackson Heights, Elmhurst area of Queens, this facility operates in a commercial, vibrant, urban setting. And that's, if it was a church, sure.
Right?
Daycare, no, not so much.
Yeah,
That's one of them. That's for kids. That's little kids.
That's for kids.
Go there every day.
Right.
That's like a school.
There is a There's a debate going on the forums off and on about, can you nominate a church that has a daycare in it?
I saw that.
Yeah. And I can kind of go both ways on that. If it's a church with a daycare, it's fine. If it's a daycare, it depends on what is the first purpose of it. In this specific situation that you have for Cold a Week, this is a daycare primarily.
church.
You can look at the photo run by a church. So this is K through 12 all day long.
Yeah. And so the main photo is basically a giant orange banner that says Zion Church in small letters and daycare in big letters.
Yeah.
And it's the hallway. It looks like an alleyway in between two buildings. So that's probably kind of hung up in between them. And then there's like red brick building on the right. And then like a white building on the left. It's a tree kind of in the middle. But yeah, it's a daycare. It's 100% a daycare.
It's a daycare. Yep. Daycare.
So, you got anything else?
I got nothing else, man. You can sign us off.
All right. It is currently 2-0 Hurricanes. So for me. Thank you for joining us on this episode of Wayspotters. We really appreciate it. A big thank you goes out to our executive producer, Kate Cons, and our show historian, Maddie G, and to all of our patrons. We couldn't do this without you. Thank you so much. We would like to thank our gym leaders, Maddie G, Espion Willow, KJ Demand, Herbert, Brandy, PJ, Fisher, JZE, and James, and to the other executive producers on the network, Monkey Bread for Good Morning Johto, Xander for Lured Up, and Tish Smith for Special Conditions. A special shout out to our first Elite 4 trainer, Ozark Renee, and to our Giovanni level supporter, Boris Yeah. If you enjoyed this episode of Wayspotters, there are a few ways that you can show us. Follow us on all of our socials. We are on Twitter at Wayspotters, also on Instagram at Wayspotters Podcast, and on TikTok at I Make Wayspots. We are incredibly responsive and love interacting with our followers. Let us know what you thought about today's episode. You can also visit our website, www.wayspotters.com. From there, you can get links to everywhere you download the show. You can also send us a message directly from the website. Or email us, wayspotters@pokemonprofessor.com. If you're watching this on YouTube, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and click the bell to be notified whenever we post a new video. For those of you who still need to be sure to check us out, youtube.com/@Wayspotters-podcast. Leave us a voicemail on our hotline, 704-426-3710, or tweet us a voice message. You never know, your voicemail may appear on an upcoming episode of the show. Finally, if you are not a member of the Pokemon Professor Network Patreon, you can join us for as little as $1 US a month. All you need to do is go to patreon.com/PokemonProfessor. You will have access to the Discord for the entire family of shows across the Pokemon Professor Network, including Wayspotter, Special Conditions, Gotta Watch 'Em All, Purified Podcast, Good Morning Johto, Sleep It Off, After Darkrai, and Lured Up. It is a fantastic place filled with fantastic people. Jamal and I are active in the Discord quite a bit, so come out and hang out. We would love to have you. With that, we look forward to you joining us again next week here on Wayspotters. We appreciate all of the support we get each week. We could not do this without you. And remember, it's not that far. Get out of your car.